Hey y'all, welcome back to the Hot Rod Dad channel. Glad you came. I hope you stay. Like, subscribe, comment, share, etc., etc. This week I'm going to take you back one more time to Evansville, Indiana, to the Frog Follies. This is the largest show in the country for pre-1949 vehicles. So if you like the oldies, stay tuned and we'll take a look at some of the coolest street rods, hot rods, and customs around. I have no doubt in my mind this little Roadster right here has more history than any car here on the place. Originally built in 1957. And it is mostly all original parts from the build in 1957. It was, however, taken apart and refurbished when it was in 1997. I think it was 40 years old at the time. So here is some history of the car. It is still owned by the original builder from 1957. A whole photo album here full of memorabilia. Here is the gentleman that built it. He built this car when he was in high school in 1957. There's a shot of it drag racing in 1960 at Indianapolis. Here's the gentleman and his wife right there. I just love stuff like this. I could sit and look at this stuff all day long. And right there is his high school sweetheart and his still wife to this day. Another shot of them back in the 1962. He also had a Woodies dragster right there. I'm hoping to bring you a full length feature on this car in the future. But it's just so loud here today with all the cars rumbling by, and he is a very soft-spoken gentleman that it's just kind of hard to do here today. 283 engine right there. Has a 1934 Ford grill shell right there, cut down with a 1932 Ford grill insert. Has 45 fin Buick drums right here on the front, and 3 deuces on there. Those are Roadster 2Gs, and the radiator, he told me, is a cut down Lincoln V12 radiator. And I'll show you right here. You can see the witness mark where it was narrowed right there and soldered back together. What a cool car with a ton of history. All the neat details on this car. I'm going to show you my favorite right here. Check out that Sportomatic radio. So he told me that when they went down to the lake to go swimming, they would remove that radio and take it with them, and they could listen to it while they were picnicking or swimming or whatever. Story about this car? Even the hubcaps are original to this car, circa 1959. Those were given to the owner as a high school graduation present in 1959. Rub-a-dub-dub, I want y'all to look at this tub. This would probably be in my top 10 if I were going to do a top 10 video here this weekend. Seems like I always get some critique when I do a top 10 video, but you know, that's just my picks at a show. It doesn't necessarily reflect the taste of everyone. But I love this little Model T tub. It's built to look like a mid-60s, I would say, custom with all that gorgeous panel work. and it's very well executed, although I think it's a newer build. It's got a 32 chopped grill right there on the front, angled spreader bar right there in the front, or V-butted I should say. Small block Chevy intake right there with 2 4 barrels on it. That cross ram set up right there. Even the graphics extend onto the air scoops right there. Check out the glitter on the original style Model T steering wheel. Just a really neat little car. I saw them out yesterday cruising around in it, and it just looked like a whole lot of fun. It's got the cheater slicks in the back with the wide white walls, and looks like almost a Halbrand style wheel. 59 caddy tail lights right there, and more panel work back here on the back. Looks like it may have a removable like a tonneau cover that snaps onto there. What a blast this would be to take down the drag strip. This is a Fiat Topolino. I'm thinking this is probably about a 1940 model. This is a little foreign car that was imported into the United States, but you know, a whole lot of them got cut up to make dragsters out of. They were very popular for race cars because they followed the standard hot rod formula of a little bitty car with a great big engine. So the formula back then was, you know, lightweight, lots of horsepower.
Welcome to register for the under 25 prize from BSRA, the Vintage Street Robbers Association.
Motorcycle tires up here on the front. Suicide front perch with a dropped tubular axle and hairpins on the front right there. What a neat little car. Over here we've got a 1934 Ford pickup. It has an original flathead in there. Don't look like it's been too heavily modified. It's for sale if you're so inclined. $29,500. Right there is the phone number. A beautiful little red truck. Here is a very uniquely styled mid-30s Chevy Roadster pickup. Now, it was not originally a Roadster. Looks like somebody chopped the top off of it right here and made it a convertible. But it has an inline 6 engine, and it is turbocharged right there. A lot of really cool custom touches right there, with some engraving on the air cleaner and the shroud right there for the turbo. But very, very unique little truck. Man, I just love this Model A stake bed pickup truck right here. Looks like it has some signage right there. You can barely make out some lettering there on the doors. The patina is awesome on this truck. Cowhide upholstery on the seat right there, and a pile of license plates for the floorboard. And I believe this bed is original to the truck. Looks very authentically old. As you can see, the hardware right there looks very well aged. And I think this is original probably to the truck. And I think they probably just taken a good old Survivor that was very well preserved and just made it into a good cruiser. Awesome little pickup with lots of room back here in the back to haul all your stuff, and a couple of seats right there from a stadium or something. So really cool. Superman colors on this 1933 or 34 Ford two-door sedan. I see right here it's a 33 because it's got the curved louvers right there on the hood sides. 1 year only for that. And then in 34 they straightened those louvers out, as well as the grill right there. They went to a straighter grill. The 33 has a little bit more curve in it, as well as the louvers. The fit and finish and color of this car is absolutely stunning. Whoever did the paintwork on this did an outstanding job. Has just a little bit of metallic right there in the paint. Just gorgeous, gorgeous car. And again, this is a 1933 Ford two-door. What a rig right here. This is a 1948 Chevy cab over. Looks like the interior is still work in progress right there. Very unusual color choice. Let me tell you, that's a lot of real estate right there. Here is about the third or fourth Woody I've seen here this weekend. This is a 1937 Dodge. Beautiful color combo on this car. Really highlights the wood. As you can see, this center strip right here is just about the same color as the paintwork on it, but this is wood right here. So really really brings out the color in that wood. Gorgeous car. Here's a couple of really cool rides that caught my eye. This one is eye-popping red 48 Chevy chop top. Very 50s style custom. Really nice chop on this car, and really nice paintwork as well. And over here is a little Model A coupe. This would be a 30 or a 31, same body style both years. Kind of a military green right there. Check out the luggage trailer back here on the back. This is the second one I've seen this weekend like that. This is an original accessory, tag along trailer. Just one singular wheel back there, and it attaches to the car frame or the bumper right there. Really cool little period accessory for this car. And great way to haul your junk, because these little cars do not have a lot of storage. This is my third time here in Evansville at this event, and as I remember, this is one of my favorite spots on site right here. Just a lovely tree-lined street right here, and all the hot rodders will line up on this side over here. There's a train track on that side, so can't park past that, but they just line up on this side right here, parallel, and on this side they kind of back in, and it's just a really nice little shady spot to walk down and check out all the rides. Like I said, there'll be about 3,000 cars here this weekend, and to have that many pre-49 cars in one spot is just a really cool experience. Several tea buckets here this weekend. Very patriotic one right there. A few rat rods, but most of them are a little more finished out, painted nicely. One of my favorite things about this venue, though, is plenty of shade trees around here. It's usually very hot, and more often than not, I don't come to this show because of the heat. But this year is very nice weather.
Yep.
Okay, here's a really interesting truck. It's got some 59 Cadillac taillights recessed back there in the back, but the most unusual feature right here is the tanks on either side. And it has me wondering if those are actually functional. You can see right here, it's got a cutout in the bed for the tanks. I'm betting those globes light up. I am really digging this little 46 Chevy. It's got a little bit of a lowrider vibe going on with the color scheme right there. Here is a 1933 Ford pickup, flathead powered. Looks like it's got a couple of Strombergs on there maybe, and looks like a Thixton or a Tattersfield 2 Deuce high-rise intake. Just a really clean little build right here. Little bit of a chop on the cab, looks like. Classic black satin with a tonneau cover back here on the back. The bed has been abbreviated right here just a little bit, shortened a few inches. Really like this little truck. With so many street rods in one place, it takes something very unusual to stand out, especially when there's so many 34 Fords, but this one sure does. This is a 34 Ford limo. Man, this thing is stretched. I don't know if this is original or if this is a custom build, but it is very unique. And right over here we have another unique ride. This is early 30s DeSoto. I'm not sure of the year on this one. It looks mostly original. See right here, it's a 1930 DeSoto. Entry number 2936. So I feel certain they're gonna probably exceed 3,000 cars here at the show this year. Maybe as many as 3,500. I've seen over 4,000 at this event before. Y'all, finding a hot rod farm-all tractor was not on my agenda this weekend, but here we are, and I found one. What's your name, sir?
My name's Chris Goffman.
Good to meet you. Tell us about this thing.
Yep. So me and my dad and a couple buddies put it together. We put a Model A front end under it, put a small block Chevy, made an adapter kit, and did some sprint car tires on the back. Was just looking for something different. It was headed to the scrap yard, and we decided to just put it all back together. Had a good time with it.
And so
it's about the 4 show. We're gonna maybe take it down to the Redneck Rumble and run it around there, and gonna do the shindig up here this year. This is about the 4th time we've had it out. So
you just get out and cruise around the fairgrounds in it?
Cruise around super slow, it ain't fast. And it's just a good time.
Yeah.
We call it a big waste of time.
Well,
but it was fun to do it.
Having fun's what it's all about. Thank you so much for telling us about it.
Yep, thank you. Have a good day.
You as well.
What?
tons of 32 Fords here this weekend. And there is some very unusual rides as well. Hey! Here's a very unusual ride. Here's a 1936 Auburn Boattail Speedster. I believe this is a replica, but it is a very authentic looking one. Frogs and frogs and more frogs. Frogs everywhere here at the Follies this weekend. Reminds me of that old Oprah Winfrey episode where she gave away cars, and you get a car and you get a car, everybody gets a car. At this show, everybody gets a frog, I guess. I still don't know exactly the reason they started calling the show the Frog Follies. I've got to figure that out. Here's a couple of cars that I recognize. These were both from Tennessee, and these guys are hardcore. They drove these Roadsters all the way, just about four or 5 hours from Tennessee. This is Johnny Brown's 1927 Model T Roadster pickup. And here is Brian Berger's 1932 Ford Roadster. And here is a little bit of history about his car. If you want to pause the video and read it, or you can go back and watch the episode I did a few months ago about Brian's Roadster and his bringing it back to life after he inherited it or had a chance to buy it from his Uncle Jim's estate. So y'all go back and check that out. It's a really cool story, really cool ride. And like I said, these guys are hardcore and drove these Roadsters all the way from Tennessee. Here is a very unusual vehicle. A lot of people have never seen one of these before. Probably the only one that we'll see here this weekend. Pretty rare, and I've only seen a handful in my lifetime. This is a 1941 Hollywood Graham. These were supercharged from the factory. Very interesting paint scheme on this car. It's kind of got a chameleon paint that changes colors in the sunlight. Here is a trio of classic black Ford hot rods. Got a Model A coupe right here in the middle, flanked by a 32 Ford coupe over there and a 32 Ford 3-window over here. This Model A is built on a 32 Ford chassis. A little bit of an unusual style right here on this 5-window. Interesting wheel and tire choice. Old school edition. One thing you just don't see enough of is the old seat cabs. Following the Fad Tees back in the 60s, they developed the seat cab version, and you just don't see enough of these around. Small block Ford powered on this one, and it follows the typical Fad T formula of the suicide perch right there and the tubular dropped axle with hairpins.
You didn't leave it. What about Uncle Mark?
In my opinion, 3 of the classiest rides on the place here. Got a Chevy coupe right here. This is what, a 38 maybe? Kind of a, I don't know, maybe a Brandywine color paint scheme on there. We've got a very unique trio of heavy haulers over in this area. I recognize this one from Tennessee. They made the trip all the way up. Mountain Hauler, Dunlap, Tennessee. Very unique flatbed. Nice tool chest back there on the back. I've spotted that truck before at the Redneck Rumble. And this truck here is one of my favorites at the show today. This is an Art Deco era, probably a 46 Chevy truck. Noble Excavating. Basically stock looking on the interior. An original flatbed back here in the back, with a very unique display piece back here on the bed. That's a bucket for excavating, likely off of a drag chain, I imagine.
Oh, got the back up in that thing too. Oh yeah, so I got a guy
A little diesel power under the hood. Looks like a Cummins under there. And over here, another really cool heavy hauler. And they've got this thing folded out like a Swiss Army knife. This is an advanced design Chevy truck, about a 1948 to 1950 model. It's got the dump bed back here on the back. Man, this thing is really unique. Out of over the 3,000 vehicles here this weekend, I've only seen a handful of 32 to 34 Ford pickups. I really like this one. It's got a Y block for power in there. It looks like it may have been stretched right up here to accommodate that engine choice. And it's got a couple of very 50s style touches on it, like the cab being channeled there over the frame, as well as the bed. And it's got a bunch of dimple dyed holes in the bed and the tailgate, as well as the stake pockets right there. What a killer 1940 Ford Deluxe sedan. Just an incredible color on this car. It's got a 409 under the hood and a very 50s style touch right there, with the gauges up there on the firewall. Very 50s inspired, I'd say, on this build. And it's got the fender skirts back here on the back as well, for another little bit of 50s flavor. Just a phenomenal color. Here's another outstanding ride right here. Very similar color to the 40 Ford I just showed y'all. And this is a 41, if I'm not mistaken, Woodies. Man, the sun is just popping on that paint today. Lots of polished aluminum on this ride, and just gorgeous. Quite possibly my favorite 32 Ford on the place today. Just very understated, but a big block Chevy under the hood for power. Like I said, very understated. Just kind of a sleeper, I'd say. Just basic black steelies on it, but very, very, very clean build right here. Buick finned drums on the front, and just basic black suspension parts. Just gorgeous.
Yesterday morning with the cruise start at 6 a.m. You also had your
just proof that you don't have to have a lot of bling on your car to really make it stand out.
You can see what the pictures look like here on the grounds today. We have a booth that's in the wood building behind us right now.
Nice array of different kinds of builds here today. Here's a very unique touch on this little Model A two-door sedan. Very stylized headers on that.
NSRA inspections are taking place down in the
it is super low. I don't think I could even get in and out of that thing. And for contrast over here, here's a mostly stock looking Model A pickup. This would be a 28 or a 29. I've always loved this body style, and it's actually on my bucket list. Probably the last vehicle on my bucket list that I'd like to own one of these days. Maybe someday. Here is another little Model A pickup, probably more my taste as far as what I do with that truck if I had it.
And we'll try to fire that puppy up at the award ceremony.
Very unique engine turned dash right there. I like that. Just basic satin black.
You'll have an opportunity to be able to win that if you're a participant in the show. Everybody in the
really cool little truck. And over here we got a 32 Ford Phaeton,
how we give away that fabulous tea bucket from
which is basically a four-door Roadster. Not a convertible. Convertibles considered different. Convertibles usually have roll-up windows. Roadsters have no windows on the sides at all, but they do have sometimes curtains that you can put in there to close up the side while you're touring around, or you can put the top down entirely.
I love playing the oldies and making the announcements of this. My 8th year at Frog Folliies, and glad to be your host for a little here.
I think I have found my favorite advanced design pickup on the place right here. This is a 1948 Chevy 3100. I spoke with the owner briefly, and she told me the color is 1948 Packard Surf Green. Really cool color, and I like the cream color dash and accents there, as well as the chocolate brown seat right there. Just a classy ride. Not overly laden with chrome and accents. Just a really pretty truck. And let's see, it is a 1948, as I said right there. No name on there. Well, regardless, I love your truck if you see this. What a classic little Model T Roadster hot rod. Flat head power with 2 deuces on it right there. Check out the copper plumbing fittings right there for the radiator hookups. Looks just like something an old hot rodder would do. Just a clean little build. Original steel body, wide white walls, black steelies with baby moon hubcaps, and a traditional Model T suicide perch up front here. 32 Ford grill shell, chopped down. Just a really classic hot rod. This is the kind of thing that you would have built way back in the early days of hot rodding, when folks were first getting a little taste of speed. So this would have been a jalopy or a soup job, a gal job, if you will. And this represents the era when people were just kind of starting to experiment with stripping cars down and making them lighter weight so that they could get more speed out of them. This is probably what you might refer to as a runabout. It looks like the floorboard was made out of an old door right there. Really neat piece of history right here. Talk about a super rare piece right here. That is a Manifold. It's got 4 Rochester 2Gs on there, and that, if you're familiar with the movie American Graffiti, that was the kind of intake manifold that was on Milner's coupe. Also on the trailer right here, we got a nice start on a Model T hot rod, just like Norm Grabowski or TV Tommy Ivo would have had. This one is all steel. Looks like it has the original frame up under there, and it looks like the wood's been redone on it. Great start on a Fad T. This has been one of my favorites here this weekend. This is a 28 or 29 Model A Roadster pickup, although the body is, I believe, a last refuge. It's a small block Chevy powered, but it's disguised right there with those Oldsmobile rocket style valve covers. 6 2 barrels on the Offenhauser intake right there. I believe those are Strombergs with boat flame arresters there on the carburetors. Military themed interior there with those bomber buckets and the gauges right there, as you can see on the dash. Very airplane influenced, as well as the sheet metal back here in the bed. All hand bucked rivets, very cool. I like the way the gas tank right there is recessed down in the bed. I also like this little tidbit, the way they recess the tail lights into the stake pocket. Really neat little pickup. Looks like a blast to drive. Here is a very classic styled T-bucket, and just a satin black and rolling pleated interior. Very simple, nothing you know, just outlandish about it. Just really cool. Cheater slicks on the back, wire wheels, quick change rear end back here in the back. Neat little cruiser. Because this is now converted to a mid-engine hauler, they've used the engine compartment right there to store their grill, and so it just slides back there into the old engine compartment. It is for sale. I'm going to show you the sign right there. If you want to pause it and read there, you can take a peek right under here. Right in here is the engine, and it says go in, so we're gonna go in. I'm gonna take you in here, show it to you. So right there is the cockpit. Got a couch over here, bathroom over here, a little kitchenette right here. Cool little rig. And for $70,000, it can be yours. What a classic little traditional hot rod. This is a 1930 or 31 Model A coupe with a 32 Ford grill shell on it. It has Kenmont style brakes there on the front. They look like the old Kenmont disc brakes from way back in the day, but it's got all modern disc brake internals. 3 deuces on this small block Chevy. Check out the vintage cloth covered spark plug wires on it. A healthy chop on the top right there. Banjo style steering wheel. Nicely louvered deck back here in the back. And just steel wheels with Excelsior tires. Hey y'all, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, like, and subscribe. While you're here, check out a couple more videos on the channel. And until next time,